What's up everyone, Blue Zerker here, and today we have an exciting Ghostly Ghastly combo coming at you with this Shadowy Spellbind Soul Control deck. We are playing Gengar EX and Dusknoir. Now this combo is incredibly potent and powerful. Gengar EX has a Shadowy Spellbind ability that has been so cool and used to be not very good because he just doesn't deal enough damage. He can't get online fast enough to turn the opponent's supporters off for it to matter. But with the introduction of Rare Candy and Lily, he gets some longevity and speed to his control ability that makes him very powerful. This combos so well with Duskull and Dusknoir because he can absorb HP. The damage that you've taken, he absorbs unto himself, so it's much harder to whittle Gengar down. You can't combo into Gengar with stuff like Red because your opponent can't activate supporters. If you get online fast enough, you can turn off the opponent's researches and Ionos to stop their consistency tools from getting them online. There are so many situations where you can just imagine the opponent is holding a grip of like Iono and research, and they really need to draw Candy, or they need to draw their stage 2, and it just does not happen. So we are playing double Duskull, double Dusknoir, and one Dusclops. It is important to get Dusknoir online, but we are prioritizing getting to that Gengar EX to turn the opponent's HP off, their ability to use their supporters off to stop any kind of things they are trying to finagle. We have double Ghastly, double Haunter. Again, very important to find Gengar EX and get him going. Also nice as a little bit of early game pressure. Ghastly can deal 20 damage. Haunter can deal 30 for 1 with that Will-O-Wisp attack. We have Slab and one Pokeball. I like this combo a lot. Pokeball is to get you to that other Duskull or that Ghastly to get another Gengar set up, but Slab is going to let you hit potentially any of your higher stage Pokemon, which you cannot so easily search for, and it is important as a consistency tool. We have one red card. This is so good against Rare Candy, and the fact that you can use it early to disrupt the opponent's plays while you're getting that Shadowy Spellbind online, and then once Shadowy Spellbind online, so many times I red card the opponent and they immediately Professor's Research me the next turn, and I'm like, oh wow, I didn't do anything. But knowing that I could red card the opponent, go into Gengar, and they can stare at that Professor's Research just makes me giddy. Double Rare Candy, of course. We've got Iono for our own consistency. If you're looking at the wrong Ghost duo, you want to get it switched out. And we have Lily, of course, who combos so well with Dusknoir and Gengar. We are absorbing that HP off Gengar, but if we're getting hit by smaller stuff, we can pull it onto Dusknoir and Lily the HP away. So yeah, that was the deck. We're going to get right into the game. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoy, leave a like, comment which Pokemon you're excited to see me build a deck around, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Our last goal was 100, and we just destroyed it. Thank you all so much. It means a lot, and I hope we can continue to grow as a community together. Our new goal is 250, and I hope to see you there. I'll smell you later. All right, guys, we are going first in this game, and we are getting Duskull lead. This is like double bad news for us. We don't want to go first, and we don't want to go Duskull. I mean, it's fine to go first, but we want to see Ghastly if that's the case, because then we can get the opponent offline. We're going to go ahead and draw 2 here, though, and we use Pokeball to see that other Duskull. So now what we need to do is we need to get the other Duskull online, so we're Sabrina proof, and we need to get Ghastly here so we can get it ready to go. We don't see any of our middle evolutions, so we are going to have to play a bit patiently. We don't want to blow this Rare Candy on Dusknoir and then draw Dusclops. That'd be really frustrating, right? So the opponent is going to Rocky Helmet up that Giratina. They're going to throw an energy on Mewtwo. Then they're going to Broken Space Bellow over here. We draw. We see the Slab. That's a good consistency tool. We are going to need an energy on Duskull to get it out anyway. So we are going to go ahead and attack. If we get 2 attacks in, and then they attack and knock us out, our Gengar is ready to knock out their Giratina as well, and we know that they can't Pokemon Center Lady it because of the Gengar at that point. They could do it before though. So we draw, we see Research. What a wonderful rip. Important to see. We get double Haunter here, so now we are for sure safe to Rare Candy this Dusknoir. You always want to, when you're not forced to use a card, and this is part of the thing about Rare Candy being an item and not like a supporter, you do not have to use it. So here we can go ahead and attack. We were already in range for this Mewtwo, but we needed to have an energy on Duskull to get it out, or we needed to apply some pressure, or the opponent wouldn't ever have to attack it. One of the things I notice less skilled players do is they just hit buttons because they can, and they don't think about why they're doing it. So Chaotic Impact coming out, they're down to 90 HP, and we're still not in like the best position ever. We do draw. We see the other Ghastly, so we can get the other Gengar started to get online because we have Haunter in hand, we have Slab. We could draw it. We're going to have to pass here because we are an energy behind, unfortunately. We would be hurting ourselves more if we wouldn't have done the Duskull thing, so we did have to do that, unfortunately, but we have Dusknoir here, so we can look for Cape. That's pretty good draw. We see the Gengar EX. It hits us, but red card here is a phenomenal draw. We can disrupt the opponent Because of the damage we've taken and because of the Rocky Helmet, we're kind of in a weird situation with this Mewtwo, and we aren't going to be able to survive its big hitting attack if it can get to the point where it uses it. So we do this red card. We are going to get them down into their 3 cards. So red card is very nice that we Spooky Shot them, knocking out the Giratina. We do take the Rocky Helmet damage. So this is where we are in kind of a pretty frustrating situation. They can attack for 50, and then they are going to be able to attack for 150 the following turn. There's only one card in our deck that can save us from getting knocked out here, and I really hope we draw it. It's Lily. It's going to heal us for 60. We go down to 100, unfortunate, and then we Heart of the Cards draw Lily. We heal up. We are still dead to red, unfortunately, but this is the only way that we do have a chance. We're going to Spooky Shot, but guess what? We can't die to red because Gengar EX says the opponent cannot use supporter cards, so we are not worried about any of their nonsense. They're going to switch out, hard switch on the Mewtwo. They're going to bring in the Giratina and Bellow, but they're just not going to be able to do it. And there's the concession. Just like that, Gengar EX stopping the opponent. We are going into that next game. We've got Ghastly, we've got Haunter, we've got Gengar, we've got going second, and we've got Lily. This is a phenomenal position to be in. Basically, because we're going second, we're going to be able to 1, 2, 3 attack, and the opponent isn't going to be able to do a whole lot in the meantime, right? We can at least hope. The Passimian is out. This card's really interesting. Haven't got the chance to experiment with it yet. We have Research. We draw Dusknoir and Haunter. We really want to get the Duskull online. The power of this deck comes from having both Gengar and Duskull. We decide to preserve our HP here because the Passimian is going to deal, it's weak to us, but the 20 damage is pretty significant, especially since they have the 60. We know that they're going to get a Seismic Toss in, and had we attacked, we would be knocked out here, so we had to preserve our HP. We have the Lily in hand, we have the Gengar EX. So the opponent's going to throw down this base Pikachu, which means we're playing against a Alolan Raichu, another card I haven't got to play with yet, but it seems really cool, so I'm excited to see what the opponent does here. They do their research, of course. We see the Pikachu come down, and they are going to throw another Passimian EX down, but now they can start attacking. 60 isn't the craziest in the world, but it is significant here. We are down to 20. We draw. We see Research. Good draw. We can throw out our Gengar EX, and now the opponent is cut off of their own supporters, and supporters are so powerful, so the fact that we are currently online is really solid. We're going to go ahead and slab, see if we can get Duskull, and we do get another Ghastly, so that's all right. Our Gengar is set up and ready to go. We can attack. I can Lily here, but I am going to go ahead and attack for that 120. The opponent's down to 10 HP, and we are down over here at 90. We can get back up to 150. We do have to attack into the Rocky Helmet, which is annoying, and the opponent is actually set up and ready to go. They have the Giant's Cape. Now that they have the Alolan Raichu, they are going to be able to pass that Passimian energy once we attack to Alolan Raichu, and they are going to Seismic Toss us down to 30 HP. We draw Dusknoir. Oh, that's like frustrating. If we could get the Dusknoir set up, we would for sure win because Gengar can't be knocked out by Alolan Raichu in one hit, and we can have them set up ready to go. We can get our Haunter going, and we are going to Lily to heal up. This is going to buy us another turn. If we can find the Duskull, we are going to be able to do something, but if not, we are going to get knocked out for sure. We're going to opt to pass here because we would get knocked out by the Passimian passing the energy to the Raichu, and then they're going to be able to attack us with that Psychic on the Alolan Raichu EX, dealing 150 damage. If we can get to Dusknoir, we can stay full. We draw, we see Dusclops, that's really frustrating. We'll get the second Gengar EX set up. We're going to get him going, and we Iono. If we can get to the Duskull, into the Dusknoir, we can survive. We Rare Candy, we Duskull, we Dusknoir. That's great. That's exactly what we want to see. We are going to Spooky Shot the Passimian to knock it out. We'll live with 10 HP, and now they'll send Alolan Raichu in. We are going to be able to Dusknoir next turn, and we are going to be guaranteeing our survival with Gengar, and hopefully we will be able to knock the opponent out. But I think we are just a turn or so behind on energy. We see them throw the Pokeball out. Alolan Raichu is ready to go. They're going to knock Gengar out. Man, this feels so bad. We were so close. We have all the cards that we need finally, but it just took a little too long to go online. They have Alolan Raichu ready to go. We Pokeball. We have Rare Candy. We're going to throw Dusknoir out. So we say, hey, guess what? We're going to be able to stay full, but because of that Rocky Helmet, they are going to guaranteed knock us out. Yes, we have to take 2 hits to knock it out. The opponent can hit us back with that Rocky Helmet, and they're going to hit that 150 HP threshold with the Psychic, taking us out. But the Alolan Raichu deck was really cool, so I wanted to showcase it. All right, and we're in that next game. We're going second. We are leading with Gastly. We see Rare Candy, and we see Gengar. This is a really good position. We can get attacking. We can get set up. We see the Cosmog. We see the Skarmory. They're going to Rocky Helmet, throw both of them down on both their Pokemon. They are Rocky Helmeted up and ready to go. We have Slab, which we can hold right now. We don't need to use it till we thin the deck out. We see the other Rare Candy. I'm going to do it for the research. That feels so bad. Had a pretty high chance to hit any of the Psychic types in our deck. It was nice to have been able to see Gengar or to see Duskull, but we did not see it. We see Dusclops here, which is really what we don't want to see, but we have Rare Candy, and we can Gengar EX out. This is going to slow the opponent down. They've only got 3 cards in hand, and they haven't researched yet, which makes research a dead draw. This is part of getting it set up quickly, because it can really disrupt the opponent's strategies. They need those consistency tools, and if you've ever played without research, you know how much harder it is. We have Lily healing us back up to full HP. Spooky Shot is knocking that Skarmory out, and if they don't do something crazy here, they're in a bind, and regardless, they are so far behind, and they just concede. Just like that, we're stopping them from getting to what they need. We're going second. We see Gastly, we have Rare Candy, we see Pokeball, we see Research. This really is an okay position to be in. We're playing against a Charmander. Again, if we can get that Gengar established pretty quickly, it just slows the opponent down so much. We've got the Duskull. This isn't as good in a matchup if this is the big Charizard, the 200 damage Charizard, because it doesn't matter how much we heal. We red card, bringing them down to 3 cards though, and Gastly is going to go ahead and put some pressure on with that suffocating gas. If they don't see Charmeleon here, if they don't get set up quick enough, we are going to be able to just keep pressuring them, and they're not going to be able to get to their cards consistently. If you can't Iono, if you can't research, if you can't do any of that, you're not going to be able to get the win because your deck is so much less consistent. They're switching out, though, into that Moltres so they can tank some hits. They're going to Potion to prevent us from Cyrusing them in. And they are down to 1 card in hand. So we know they don't have Rare Candy Charizard. We do draw the Gengar EX. We have Haunter. We can just start putting the pressure on now. 110 HP on Moltres. They draw. We don't want to see Charmeleon because then there is the Charmeleon. They could end up stoking us. I don't think you play that with the Moltres variant though. There would be no reason. It reduces your consistency, honestly. They get 1 heads onto Charmeleon, and so now we're in a really good position, and we draw Lily to make any like small damage they do to us irrelevant. We're going to go ahead and Iono ourselves. We are looking for just something to disrupt the opponent. We draw our Lily. We'd like to get Dusknoir set up, especially if this is Stokesard, but we will attack for 100. If it's Stokesard, they're not going to be able to take us out because you can't red Gengar. They would have to use like a combination of helmet and whatnot. But yeah, they're just sitting there doing not much. They're Inferno dancing us. They're going to heads. 1 heads once again, even though it wouldn't change anything as we are so far. We do draw the Rare Candy. We are going to throw an energy on this Duskull, get it set up. We don't have much else to do, and we will knock out the Moltres. Now, they have Charmeleon. I'd love to see what their hand does. This deck makes me want to play Handscope, unironically, because, yeah, there's the concession. They didn't have anything to set up because we stopped them. And we are going to be going second in this next game. We've got Gastly. Opponent's got Magneton. This should be interesting. If this is an Oricorio deck, we do have some game against it thanks to the Dusknoir. They're going to Pokeball to get a card. We see a Magnemite come down, and we are going to draw. We see Rare Candy as well. We'll Pokeball, see our Duskull. Perfect. And we're going to just start kind of pipping away at the opponent with our Gastly. We're suffocating gas. We are going to deal some damage. They've got that Lightning Ball attack, though, to hit us back with. We're going to see what they end up doing. Magnemite, funnily enough, one of the biggest losers from Rare Candy because you really need to go through Magneton to get your energy. They're going to Iono us, which is fine. We didn't have anything too crazy on deck. We've got Rare Candy and Professor's Research. So now we see the Oricorio. One of the things about EX decks is Oricorio just completely counters them. There's nothing you can do against the deck, but thanks to our Dusknoir, we have an out. He deals exactly 70 damage, so we can knock Oricorio out. He's not going to knock us out, so we're in a pretty good position against it compared to some decks. We do see the Gengar as well, and we do have Gastly here. I'm thinking exactly what I want to do. We can double Rare Candy, get to our big guys here. We will get Gengar EX, stop the opponent from being able to use supporters like Research and whatnot. And then we are going to get into the Dusknoir. So this is a pretty decent position. We can't attack yet, but the opponent can't do much. They could bring the Oricorio in which we won't be able to knock out, but we can get our Dusknoir set up. And the cool thing about Dusknoir is it can absorb the Oricorio damage and then come in and one-shot it instead of it being able to knock our Gengar EX out over time. This Magneton coming in Very big though, very strong. 110 damage is nothing to scoff at, especially when you're going to be able to get multiple hits. One of the things about using Magneton in an electric deck is you get to attack every turn. It's very powerful. They are going to switch out into the Oricorio though. We draw Lily, which is fantastic. Being able to combo that with our Dusknoir, very, very powerful. We have Gengar and no point in attacking and setting up against Oricorio, so now we're getting Dusknoir set up on the bench. This is the good position to be in. We don't want to see second Oricorio. That makes our job a little more difficult, but overall we're in a decent position, and the opponent really should have just stayed in with Magneton and started pelting us because the 110 damage is significant. So Gengar stays here, blocking the opponent's ability to use supporters, and we can just heal with our Dusknoir. We're trying to get the other one set up as well. As soon as we can get it set up, we'll be in a fantastic spot because we can combo the damage between all of them. There's even a super cool play with Dusknoir if it's in the active zone where you can knock yourself out. They are going to deal another 50 though. We don't have to worry about red, so that's nice. We do have the Dusclops. Yeah, there we go. The Dusclops. We have Dusknoir. We are going to think about absorbing the damage off of Gengar. We are concerned about this Magneton is the biggest thing. Magneton in the back could come in and immediately knock out our Gengar EX, and that would be a bit of a problem. So we're going to switch in to our Dusknoir, and we're going to be able to hit the Oricorio once. They do have the cape, so being able to live our damage is pretty significant. They have Magneton, so they will be able to come in and hit us hard. And so we are in a little bit of an awkward situation when it comes to our energy total. Without Leaf, because this isn't a common situation, it's harder to pivot between these Pokemon. Once you start doing different things come up. So we're going to draw. We see the Haunter. We are going to figure out how we're going to divvy our energy up. We will use it on that Gengar though. And we have Lily to heal Dusknoir if we want. And we have an interesting little play that we could do. I'm really trying to figure out what I want to do here. It's such an awkward situation. There is play around Oricorio, but Oricorio is such a powerful Pokemon. So it being as strong as it is against half of our deck is really weird. So I decide to go ahead and do this 70 damage to the Magneton. It's going to force them to keep the energy on it. They are going to be able to knock out our Dusknoir, which is unfortunate, but we have some play with like the Haunter because we can Haunter, and then we could get the other Dusknoir set up. Like there are some things we can do. They have Zapdos EX here in the back. That Thundering Hurricane, I think is the name of the name, is really fun. The dealing damage, really high potential damage, is really good. And then we see that Cape, and that is so frustrating. Cape's going to make it that much more difficult to knock it out. We do get our first Dusknoir knocked out. We need the second one ready to go, and we're going to throw our Dusclops in. We can stall for a little bit, but we are not in the best situation. So we are going to send Dusknoir out, and we have a cute little play that we can move to, but this Oricorio in the back could prove to be devastating. We have to leave ourselves set up with the Haunter though, because that gives us a potential option against the Oricorio. The 30 damage will knock out the rest of the Oricorio's HP. We can knock out the Magnezone with the Gengar EX, so we have some play, and the opponent is forced to continue put that energy on the Magnezone. They Pokeball, but nothing is left in their deck. They're just showing us like, hey, we're pretty far up. We've got Dusknoir tanking that hit. We draw Iono, so we do have that going for us. We can Shadow Void here. We are going to absorb all of the damage from our Gengar on the bench, and then we're going to use it as a free swap in. So Gengar EX does come in. We can Spooky Shot to take out the Magnezone, and now if the opponent sends the Oricorio in, we can knock it out with the Haunter. It's not the cleanest solution, but it is a solution, and a lot better than some decks have, honestly. So they are going to draw. They set another Oricorio down, which is just, oh man, so much harder to deal with. They're going to zap us. We are going to draw. We have Haunter in hand. We're going to retreat into the other Haunter. On principle, we are going to knock this Oricorio out. We can then switch back to our Gengar, but our energy is just a little too far behind for the plays that we want to be able to do. Having Leaf would be really solid, but unfortunately we don't have it. We have Magneton come out. They can use the Volt Charge, and then they have an energy that they can apply. They can always use it on like the Zapdos, but if they have Magnezone at the bottom of their deck, we could win this. The opponent might be able to trick themselves into letting us win. We are going to go ahead and throw that energy on the Haunter. We are going to attack. This is like to scare the Oricorio away, but if they draw Magnezone, we are knocked out. They have the third, they have the Magnezone, and this was just a fun game I wanted to showcase. The Oricorio, very powerful. We do have some play, though, with the Shadow Punch, so unfortunately we didn't take that win, but it was a fun game nonetheless. All right, in this one, we are going to be going first again, and we just see a handful of Pokemon, which is never the best situation to be in. The opponent's going second with Rockruff, which is even Rockruffer than we want to be in the situation of. We see Rare Candy, we see Duskull. We are going to have this Rare Candy up in here in our hand. We have Double Haunter, we have Gengar. This is just such a kind of a crappy hand. It's like, they do happen. If we're playing half of our deck as Pokemon, our 4-card starting hand will be Pokemon, but sometimes it's just so frustrating. So they are going to get their free search in, and we are going to go ahead and get this Haunter evolved. And I'm going to make a silly mistake. First, I'm going to Rare Candy, and then I'm going to do this Dusknoir. That's not really the mistake. The mistake here is attacking. So what I've just done is I've knocked my Haunter out because the opponent is now going to evolve, and they're going to deal bonus damage. Because I decided to deal that 30 damage, I wasn't thinking ahead. Lycanroc deals a bonus 50 damage because now we have 80 to their 70 HP, and they deal bonus damage if we have more HP. So that's my bad. Shouldn't have done that, especially with the Dusknoir online. So now we are going to go ahead though and use our Gengar EX. We do have the HP here. We don't want to worry about any other nonsense coming out, and we want to turn off the opponent's supporters. We can also absorb all that damage onto our Gengar EX, and because we got onto our Dusknoir, and we are going to not take any extra damage here because we have equal amount of health as the opponent. So this is going to allow us to get an extra proc on our Dusknoir. We're going to absorb all that damage, knock ourselves out, and now it is Gengar versus the world, baby. The opponent is at 2. Now suddenly I want to be playing Mars in this deck, but man, this deck just wants to play so many different supporters. We will knock it out. They are going to have to send this Rockruff in. They've got a full hand, and I'm just hoping it's all trainers. We see the second Rockruff come out. They are going to be able to attack. They attack. They have nothing left. We deal 100 damage. We're even going to red card them just to be kind of, you know, a-holes. My bad. Get them down to 3 cards, attack with the Spooky Shot, and that's why I don't play Fossil decks. That is exactly why I don't play Fossil decks. Alright, this one we are going to be going second. We have Gastly, we have Haunter, we have Rare Candy. We won't need to utilize the Rare Candy, most likely, on the Gastly, but we could. We might have to end up playing around some bonus damage from Lucario. We're going to draw. We are going to get to attack right off the bat. We are going to red card since they have 5 cards in hand. No reason not to. Just reduce their ability to do much. We get them down to 20 HP, which is significant right off the bat. They have to have something or we're just going to take them out. They research to draw 2 cards. See what they end up doing. It's probably like a Rampardos deck, you know, having to look for that fossils. There they are. There are the double fossils. They're going to get the Lucario out. They can't knock us out. They got to wait till next turn to attack. We draw the other Gastly. We've got Haunter. We can go ahead and attack with Haunter. And if they attack us, we're going to survive unless, we're going to survive unless they do a Rare Candy, X Speed, Rampardos. That has to be their hand in order to knock us out instead. They are going to throw the energy on the Lucario. Submarine blowing us to 20 HP. We hit draw research as well. Pretty good here. We're going to see Iono and Lily. So can't do anything too crazy here. Only being able to deal 30 means we won't be able to take these fossils out next turn, but we can attack, knocking the Lucario out. Only dealing 130 HP on Rampardos is also going to be a little more significant thanks to the Duskull, but it's still enough to knock the Dusknoir out. And then see what the opponent does. They have the Skull Fossil, and they are just waiting. They don't have Granados. They might have Rampardos in hand. We have the old Duskull, but we are going to Iono their hand away. We're going to try for Gengar EX, see if we can get it. We see research. We're going to Pokeball, then the deck. Then we can throw this slab down. If we get Gengar EX, we should be in a very good position, but there's the Rare Candy. Duskull is going to go on the floor, get ready to go. We'll get the other Hunter set up just in case. Go ahead and attack. That Skull Fossil living with 10 HP. Why do they have 40 HP? That's way too much. They need to be 30 so they can be Hitmonlee kickable. They are going to throw an energy on their other Skull Fossil, though. And Rare Candy, we do see the Rampardos. It's going to be coming down. Very powerful Pokemon. He can discard the Skull Fossil and get an attack in. We see the Riolu. He's kind of got everything ready to go for him. This is why we threw the energy on the Haunter. They're going to head smash us and knock themselves down to 100 HP, though. So here is Gengar EX, and we win the game. If we can get the Gengar, let's draw it. Yes, we get that beautiful full art Gengar. We're going to throw the energy down. We are going to deal 100 damage, just enough to knock out that Rampardos. We're going to Rare Candy, get our Dusknoir set up here on the back, just in case anything crazy happens, but unfortunately for them, there's not much crazy you can do against Gengar EX. There's no crazy supporter play. There's no crazy anything, really, because he just sits here, tanks anything, and then we get to the win. All right, guys, so there were the games. I like this deck a lot. It's really fun. As we saw, you know, you're not going to win every game, but if you get set up, there's a lot of potential this deck has. There's a lot you can mess around with on some of the ratios too. I think this deck would really benefit from Giant's Cape. There's probably a lot of breakpoints that it does for you. It's just hard to figure out exactly where you would want to replace, what you would want to replace. The consistency tools are important. If you don't get online, you're definitely going to lose. So it's hard to want to sacrifice consistency for win more options, like trading a slab out for cape, for instance, or maybe, you know, you could potentially get rid of the Iono and have a cape because it combos well with Dusknoir or Gengar EX. It's a nice option. One of the things I find about this deck is there are always options that I am missing, especially in a double stage 2 deck. We're missing things like Cyrus and Sabrina, which sometimes would feel really, really nice to have, but there's not a lot you can give up because we do need the consistency to ever get online. However, if you did get online, you're probably going to win, unless the opponent has some really heavy hitters and we got online too late. But if you can get going quick, you can stop the opponent from playing. But anyway, I've been Blue. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll smell you later.